You know that feeling? You look out at your garden after all the spring flowers have faded, and you just think, wow, where did all the color go? Well, today, we're going to dive into a gardener's personal notes and pull out one simple but really powerful idea for making sure that color sticks around. So our story starts with a challenge that, let's be honest, every single gardener faces. Flowers are beautiful, but they just don't last. We pour all this time and energy into them, but their moment in the sun is, well, it's frustratingly short.
So, think about your own garden for a second. Does all that amazing vibrancy just seem to pack up and leave when the blooms are done? You get this incredible explosion of color for a few weeks, and then it's just a sea of green for the rest of the year. It's a cycle that can leave a garden looking kind of bland for months.
And that right there is the heart of the issue. We tend to lean on flowers for all of our color, but they're temporary guests. If your whole color strategy is built on something that's only around for a little while, you're basically signing up for a pretty quiet garden for most of the year. But what if there's another way to think about this?
Okay, this is where our gardener's notes get really good, because the solution wasn't some complicated master plan. Nope, it came from a simple, happy accident that totally flipped their perspective on its head.
And here it is, the aha moment. The gardener, Ang, was sorting through some seeds and just kind of casually scattered some amaranth seeds around. And the result? It was this stunning, beautiful contrast between the deep red of the amaranth leaves and all the green foliage around them. The color wasn't coming from flowers. It was coming from the leaves themselves.
You can actually boil this whole discovery down to a super simple formula. You take component 1, the red amaranth foliage, add component 2, your standard green plant foliage, and the result is this incredible, striking visual contrast. It's basically a design principle made easy.
Now that amaranth trick is fantastic, but it's got one little catch, and that little catch led to an even bigger idea. This is the point where a simple seasonal hack starts to grow into a whole new philosophy for gardening.
So, here's the snag. Amaranth is an annual. What does that mean? It means all that gorgeous red color is gone after just one season. You have to start all over again next year. It's a great trick for sure, but it isn't a permanent fix. So Ang went looking for something better, something that would last. And that's where Coleus comes into the picture. See, Coleus is a perennial, which means it comes back year after year. It gives you that same awesome foliage-based color, but it sticks around. The only trade-off, it could be a little pickier about where it likes to grow. And just so we're all on the same page here, an annual plant does its whole thing. Grows, flowers, makes seeds, and dies, all in one season. A perennial, on the other hand, lives for more than 2 years, usually coming back each spring. And that distinction, that's the whole key to building a garden with color that lasts.
And this brings us to the really practical part of the strategy. If you want Coleus to really thrive and give you that vibrant season-long color, it needs a very specific environment, what our gardener calls a partial shade microclimate. So it's not just about what you plant, it's about where you plant it.
So this whole journey, from a few scattered seeds to finding a perennial alternative to figuring out the perfect little microclimate, it all leads to this huge shift in thinking. It's about creating what you could call a foliage-first garden.
So why does this matter so much? Well, when you focus on foliage, you get color that lasts way longer than any flower. It helps create a garden that just looks lush and full all the time, and it gives you that vibrant, all-season interest that we're all really after. Flowers then become this beautiful bonus, not the main event. And that's really the idea I want to leave you with. What if you started thinking of foliage not just as the green, boring background for your flowers, but as the actual star of the show? It's a small change in perspective, but it's one that can absolutely transform your garden, keeping it colorful and alive all year long.